manage to work Cleveland in here? He works Dayton in here. Works Pittsburgh in here. Chicago, Toronto, Buffalo.
A jerk.
You know what I'm saying? Because what you do is you just find cities that sound similar or end in a certain way.
It's all right. Sublime took care of us.
How so?
And the one where he's shouting out all the cities, riots in the streets of Miami. Like, he's doing that. I can't remember the name of the song.
Okay.
But he goes through all these different cities, and he goes, Cleveland, Ohio. Like,
yeah, well, no disrespect. I'd rather have Johnny Cash shouting us out than Brad Knoll. But he could have easily said Cleveland, Portland, Garland, Midland, all of them land. Yeah. All the land cities.
But he didn't.
Sugarland, Long Island, Vineland, Richland, whatever. But the Omicron variant is now traveling everywhere and having a good time doing it, I guess.
Do we have any more info about how it's affecting people? Like, is it as bad as Delta? Is it worse than Delta?
Still trying to figure it out. It's in 5 states in the United States. Obviously, it'll be in all of them soon.
Now, is there any simple way that's free for people to perhaps not be as affected by any version of the coronavirus?
No.
There's not?
Still, you'd think that, to hear some people say it, there's, but they're finding, one of the most interesting stories I read, not even about this variant, although it became about that, was that people were so surprised that Africa had remained relatively not unaffected by the coronavirus, but they thought that Africa was a place that would just get destroyed by it. And for the most part, they said that they did not, that there were countries in Africa that were doing much better than people had expected and a lot better than some other countries. What they are seeing in South Africa now is this Omicron variant is starting to hit little kids, which they didn't have the first round with just your OG COVID-19. They were seeing largely that kids were relatively unaffected. They could still get it and spread it, but they weren't getting sick. They weren't getting hospitalized. Delta started to get kids a little bit, so they were getting nervous about that. They're saying that this Omicron, the two groups that it seems to be hitting the most, and I wasn't reading about fatalities, I was reading about infection rates, was these South African doctors are saying that the two rates that they're seeing of infections is over 60 and under 5. Oof. So that's really going to put the pedal to the metal in this country is if we get a variant of this, it starts killing kids, little kids. But it's circulating, obviously, every time. By the time we know about it, it's already been around for a while.
Is a booster shot worth it then?
They are saying that a booster shot is worth it, yes.
But how can you get a booster shot for
people
a virus?
Get flu shots every year,
but
even though the flu changes and the strains change, and
I was going to say, if this is affecting you differently, how can you have a vaccine or a booster for a strain of the virus? We don't know how it affects the body yet.
Because it's a booster shot to booster your immune system against things like this. Because as I understand it, each successive variant will do different things, but they will. It's like making re-record. Back in the day, if you could only re-record over a tape so many times, and you'd get signal degradation, right? It would just wear out. And that's kind of how some epidemiologists say that variants work on viruses, is that they don't continually get stronger and stronger and stronger. They have to compete with the variant that preceded it. And Delta was pretty rough. So they're like, it's not like Omicron's going to come over here and just set the country on fire, but it will affect different people in different ways. 24 countries now have reported cases of it. And obviously, you're going to have people who think that it's a whole bunch of nothing. And you're going to have people who are looking to board up the door and get people back inside. Both of those are probably wrong because you don't know enough yet.
Who names it? That's what I'm interested in.
They just go down the Greek alphabet, right? Delta, Omicron.
Oh, wait.
Those aren't next to each other in the Greek alphabet, so I don't know who picks what. If the CDC does or I don't know.
Okay.
So it's in the UK and France, and it's here, and it was in Canada before it got here. But again, they found a guy in Hawaii with it, and he never left the island. So who knows? Wow. Jimmy Kimmel went out. I love when Kimmel goes and asks people on the street questions.
It's a very telling bit.
It's called Lie Witness News because they did an Omicron edition, and they just made up things. They told one guy that Omicron just got signed to the Lakers. And I'm always amazed that people just don't go, I mean, I'm sure some do.
Yeah.
They go, well, I hadn't
They're
heard about
asking
that.
a lot of people and go with the best answers,
Right.
the funniest ones.
But it is funny to me that there are people who cannot tell you they don't know. They go, oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's great. I'm surprised I get anybody who,
Talking about the fact that the Lakers just signed Omicron, what did you think when you heard about that?
I thought that was a good deal for the Lakers. I think they're going to make a lot of progress in the future.
Who's more dangerous, Omicron or LeBron James?
At this time, I would have to say LeBron James, one of the most dominant players in the league. We'll have to see how it goes. I think Omicron's going to be dangerous out there.
What about LeBron-macron? Those two guys get together, you got a whole new portmanteau for you.
Want to congratulate the Lakers on getting Omicron?
Absolutely. Omicron, welcome to LA. LeBron James and the Lakers, good luck this season. We're looking forward to how it goes.
Welcome to
Talking
LA.
about the new Kanye album, Omicron, that just dropped. What are people saying about it?
I heard a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of people love it.
Are you liking some of the stuff off Omicron?
Yeah, I like a couple.
I'll name a Kanye album, and you tell me if you like Omicron better or the album, okay?
Okay.
Omicron or Donda?
Donda?
Omicron or Late Registration?
Late registration?
Omicron or there's no such Kanye album as Omicron?
Omicron.
That's the thing too. Is like people get so nervous when they're on camera, so they're not even really listening to what you're saying. They're just repeating basically whatever they're just panicking basically.
Wonder if they tell them they're with Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I think eventually they do.
Yeah. Well, because they got to tell them something to put them on camera. Back in the day when I had to run around and a show that I was working on when I was still an intern in my career. I had to, go out and get tape, and I would have to I have to be very vague because if I told them who I was with, they'd say no. So I'd have to say something very, very vague, like, "Hey, I'm doing a news segment on," because they didn't want to. If you told them what you were going to do, we're going to make you sound stupid. And that wasn't even a video component. That was just getting people on microphone.
Looking forward to the holidays, Geneva?
Yes, I am.
Do you have any Jewish friends celebrating Omicron?
I do, yep.
And how do they celebrate?
Normally lots of eating, lots of good food, having people over.
Would you like to wish them a happy Omicron?
Yes, happy Omicron to all of my Jewish friends in Canada and the United States.
The hot new item, of course, this year is the Omicron. Do you have any friends who are trying to get one?
I have heard of people trying to get them and unable to.
Do you think they're better off waiting till after Christmas when everyone has Omicron?
Personally, yes, I do believe so, but then nobody's going to want it anymore, so they'll be everywhere.
Jackie and
So the last girls that come up are these two girls on roller skates.
Oh yeah.
And did you watch any of this?
I didn't see this. No.
These two girls, and the one girl looks like Poundcake in like a Little Orphan Annie wig.
Excuse me.
She just does. And so obviously they're like, LA hipsters or whatever. They're just these chicks that are roller skating up and down the street like, please pay attention to us. And of course, at the end of the video, they can't manage to stay up on the roller skates. So you won't hear that, but it's worth watching because they
they keep falling down.
Oh, they break their asses 2 or 3 times trying to get back up.
Amber, what do you guys do out here?
We sling dope. Slinging dope. Sell weed.
Oh, you sell weed? Wonderful. We're talking about the new strain Omicron. What are people saying about it?
That it's lit. It's everywhere. It's worldwide.
Have you guys tried Omicron yet?
No, not yet.
Are you looking forward to?
Whenever it hits the U.S.
That could be any day. How about this?
Would you buy weed from two girls on roller skates?
Absolutely.
Yes, because it would be. Yes.
There's not a lot of things girls on roller skates can't sell me.
We write that down. That's a nice little personal mantra.
Roll up to your car.
Well, then what's something that girls on roller skates couldn't sell you?
Probably like a mincemeat pie.
A mincemeat pie, all right?
I don't know how long you've had that. It probably is not going to be great.
Yeah,
but,
I don't want to be like that church group.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to a place where they've got the waitresses on roller skates and one of them eats it?
Oh, yeah.
I hate to see people get hurt. It is the best when they slip and the tray goes straight up and the food as long as it like doesn't hit your car or whatever.
Right.
But you know those places, they're still these poor girls. They're like, I need a job, and these dumb places are still trying to recreate some sock hop era that nobody remembers. And so they're wearing hot pants or booty shorts, and they're in roller skates, and they got these trays full of milkshakes. Man, when they fall. Chef's kiss.
I've been at a Swenson's when it's like real busy and there was like a new kid there and he went out the wrong door and just a collision and it just it was fantastic. Like I wish I had on video.
Fantastic.
Do they still? Because it's great.
Because of how
the dramatics
ridiculous it was. Like it looked like it was from a movie where like it was somebody that got like milkshakes and hamburgers. So it was just like as he ran into it, he like pushed the kid because like he was trying to stop himself, but he like pushed the kid and like
he had too much momentum at that point.
And then like the tray just goes up and just all over the place. And it was.
Do they still all skate at Swenson's?
No, they're just running. They usually have like teenage kids running.
Because I was going to say, I've been to Swenson's once, and the girl just walked out and took my order.
Oh, my God. No, I love it. I don't go to Swenson's often because I don't like how they be jipping me on my whatever drink I get. They put so much ice and a little bit of drink.
They got that popcorn ice, and it just sucks up all the liquid, man.
Gets on my nerves. But
you just got to ask for less.
It just makes
say low ice.
I tell them I just say no ice. No ice. And they're like,
I'd also stay away from asking them not to jip you in the future.
Why?
Do a commercial for the new hot weed strain Omicron. Action.
Omicron is dope. It'll have you bedridden, sleep. It'll have you knocked out.
Slipping. This will have you slipping. Don't sleep on Omicron.
From the makers of Delta, enter promo code Omicronic.
Omicronic. It writes itself. Those girls were the money shot for that Kimmel bit. Yeah, so just asking people about Omicron and seeing what they come up with. But people just want to, they want to relate, don't they?
Yeah.
You ask them a question and they'll go, oh, yeah. Because I don't think there's any point where the guy goes, yeah, it's all made up. They go, oh, yeah, no.
Oh, whoops.
I love Omicron. Yeah, it's Liddy. Alan can't wait till we start naming COVID variants by fraternity names. Gamma Delta is going to be killer. Well, again, they're already using Greek letters, so it's.
But I mean, once you go through all the different variants,
oh, I see.
You get at the end of the Greek alphabet, then
you're
doubling them up. Yeah,
I see. Alan Bradley Noel was a more musically talented person than Johnny Cash. Listen, it's all subjective. I think you're going to find yourself in a distinct minority with that opinion. But that's fine. No man is an island. That's just fine. So, yeah, when it comes to boosters, I mean, these are not Omicron boosters. You know, they've been giving out boosters for a while because
COVID boosters, but it's effective against
Omicron does different things. Well, I don't know about that. Well, I don't know that they're saying that because Omicron affects different parts of the virus. Or the Omicron variant affects different parts of your body or whatever it attaches itself to. So I don't think anybody is saying, hey, this works, because they don't know enough yet.
Right.
But they're saying, listen, if you got your vaccinations before, boosters are part of that. Most vaccination, as I understand it, what's it called? The series that you get, they're usually 3 shots. They're not 2. I think they just wanted to start getting shots in arms with people with COVID. So they had people get 2. But they're usually 3. At least when I was growing up, they were. So when people are like, boosters, what? Like, yeah, that would normally be the 3rd shot. I scheduled mine yesterday. So I got mine coming up once we go on break. Because I'm like, if it lays me on my ass, I don't want to be coming into work. You know, I didn't have any problems with my initial 2 shots, but maybe the booster will knock me out. What do I know?
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Where are you getting yours again?
In his butt.
No.
In my arm.
The location.
Walgreens.
Okay.
So, yeah. It'll be fine.
Sounds like you got a lot of ice in that Mountain Dew. It should be watered down by now. I hate a watered down drink, man.
Well, I ordered a smaller one, and the guy forgot about it. So he goes, hey, I'm really sorry I forgot. I gave you a large. I'm like, okay, thanks, but I don't want a large.
But you got a large.
I know. I'm like, I
That's a bonus,
appreciate it.
buddy.
I get it. I appreciate the thought. I'm like, I don't need that, though.
It is comical.
Because I'll drink it all, and I don't need that. It ain't good for me.
It is comical the drink sizes they have now in movie theaters. Like, I swear, they get bigger and bigger. Like, the last time I ordered a large, it was already, like, it takes up my whole chest. Like, it's just, like, right here. And I look like a little kid drinking it. And now they're even bigger. And they have to customize the freaking cup holders in the movie theater to hold these stupid drinks. It's real small at the bottom, and then it's like a big glob on top. I'm like, this is ridiculous. No one needs this much drink.
Well, some people, I always think about these long movies, like for people who walk in with these giant, barrel drinks. You're going to be walking out of Dune halfway through to take a whiz. That's no fun.
They need an intermission if that's the case, because these drinks are ridiculous. It's literally, their drinks are bigger than that Purell bottle, Alan, on the other side of your monitor. That's how big they are.
Oh, yeah? All right.
Wow.
I'm not worried about it because, you don't have to order a huge drink.
Yeah, but it's like 50 cents more.
Well, that's how they get you. Hey, do you want to have a giant, do you want to triple the size of this for 2 more quarters? And people go, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But if you're not going to drink it, save the 2 quarters.
I just imagine those people when it's all you can drink, like at McDonald's, whatever, or bring your own container, and people come in with like these big water jugs and like.
That's like, where do they do that at?
I don't know, but I've seen
7-Eleven's done that for different days when it's like the slushy. You can get the slushy and you bring in whatever you want,
stupid,
and
dude.
people are bringing in like big old stock pots and just filling it up.
It's dumb. Like, why would you make a rule like that? I think they just want to get rid of the slushy. They're like tired of it or something because people aren't going to act appropriately. People don't act appropriately for anything.
Well, it's funny when you go to the movies now, they say, please, we apologize. We're operating on a limited menu. And it's just funny because the limited menu is basically what they just used to have at the movies. You go to the movies, they would have popcorn, pop, and candy. But over 25 years, they started selling fajitas and hot dogs and nachos.
My chicken fingers.
Right. So all this ridiculous crap to make the movies like a restaurant. They're like, hey, guys, really sorry. We're out of tenders. Like, oh, darn. You mean I can only just get pop and popcorn? Oh, that blows.
There was this one movie theater.
Because that's all I want.
There was this one movie. I think it was IMAX movie theater. I haven't been to very many. But it was in Broadway at the beach, in Myrtle Beach. And I ordered food, and they brought it on a silver platter to my seat. I ain't never had service like that before. I said, "Oh my god!" Like
you never gone to a movie like
I ordered food before where they make it and it comes in a little box and you take it to your seat. I've never ordered it. They're like, "Go in, watch the previews, whatever. We will bring it to you." I'm like, "How are you gonna?" They knew where I was sitting and they brought it out and they said, "Dink!" They like took the top off. I'm like, "Ugh." You gave me utensils? Like, oh my god. I ain't never had an experience like that before, where they have a waiter that brings you your food.
They don't have Alamo Draft House in Northeast Ohio, but if you've ever been to an Alamo Draft House, they probably don't have as many of them as they usually did. They kind of got too big for their britches for a while, but Alamo Draft House is like that. Trouble is, they come by and want to know what you want when the lights have gone down and the movie starts.
Right.
So like you're using the light on your phone to look at the menu. I'm like, just give me some just give me some popcorn. I don't need a movie or open a restaurant that shows movies. Why are you turning the movie theater into a restaurant? Just open a restaurant that shows movies. So everybody's sitting at a table, right? Like a regular restaurant. They're coming by, but you're showing a movie. What's the matter with that?
Sounds like a good idea. Why don't you open
it's a
one?
freebie from AC. I got a break. Hey, I'll have that last pair of tickets for you. Comedian Chris DiStefano? What does Mary say?
DiStefano.
Because you and I both thought it was DiStefano.
Yeah.
Chris DiStefano is going to do the Agora next spring. So if you're a fan of him, March 5 is when he's going to play there. I have that last pair of tickets for you after this break. 35192 if you